Very good Thursday afternoon. Hope everyone is having a nice start, or maybe second half of the day,
Yeah.
but it's unfortunately another hot one.
Yeah, it's definitely another hot one out there, but the nice thing is
Yeah.
now is we do have some scattered storms developing, so some people are going to get some relief out there. Taking a closer look at these storms, we got a lot that are developing farther down to our south, and some stronger ones as well. Heavy downpours, lots of lightning strikes, just moved its way over that I-55 corridor.
And these showers are also going to bring us, even if you're not seeing all the rain, these clouds increasing are going to bring us some momentary relief from the heat. So if you do catch one of these, of course, hopefully you have rain gear with you, but it will give you some much needed relief from the heat. A little bit more spotty though at times across the areas closer to Interstate 20. We've got a few showers in Scott County now, also into Rankin County, a few spotty showers in Hinds County, but the heavier, more widespread rain, again, is in our southernmost counties, closer to the state line, and that's all thanks to that tropical moisture building in.
Yeah, so if you haven't gotten the rain yet, it's a hot and humid one out there. Current temperatures are in the 90s for most of us, but you can see a few of us farther down to our south and southeast, they're still in the 80s, and that's all due to that cloud coverage increasing and, of course, that rain as well. Now, taking a look at those feels-like temperatures, it's a hot one for some of us.
Yeah.
Vicksburg and Yazoo City, 114
Right.
degrees, Rolling Fork at 113, and here in Jackson, we're sitting right around that heat index value of 107 right now.
Yeah, even for folks that are getting the rain currently, sure, the air temperatures look a lot better in the mid 80s, but we still have all of that tropical moisture, so it feels about 10 degrees warmer. So it's still feeling like 96 in Macomb and in the Pine Belt. So it's warm and muggy out there. But again, that rain is going to start to help us. But because of the rain chances, especially a little further south, and the heat and humidity playing a big role even early in the day, because we were feeling like the 90s early this morning.
Yeah.
So that's why this extreme heat warning has continued into your Thursday. And this is a good majority of us. Everyone in the metro, our Delta counties, our river counties, you're in the extreme heat warning till 8 p.m. today, but our eastern counties, that's where the better chances of rain are, especially south and east, and the better cloud cover. So that's why I think that advisory has been issued.
Exactly. Now take a look, temperatures overnight. Of course, we're going to drop down again into those mid-70s, so just another warm and muggy start when it comes to your Friday morning. And take a look at that 3-day planner out there. The nice thing is we have increased rain chances, better coverage when it comes to your Friday and Saturday. So that's actually just going to keep us a little bit closer to our average. So a little bit of a break from really those hot and humid afternoons, but still, you're still going to feel it outside regardless.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And we don't currently have a heat advisory issued for tomorrow, unless I'm mistaken.
There was
one,
but
a heat advisory.
The heat advisory for tomorrow is mainly towards the northwest.
Right.
So
okay, that's
closer out to the Delta region.
Yeah.
And
so
it's
we're
just
trimming,
an advisory.
Yeah, just an advisory. We're trimming some counties out, and we also don't have the highest alert. So that's why we've been really trying to get across the heat safety tips the first half of the week, where that heat dome has really been playing the bigger role in our forecast. Of course, this tropical moisture and this very disorganized system in the Gulf is now going to be increasing our chance of rain. We're seeing that already this afternoon, and we'll continue to see it through the early evening hours as well.
Yep, and then once we get to that overnight, that's where we get a little bit of a break. But by your Friday morning or Pine Belt areas, you could see some rain as you're stepping on out the door. So a little bit wet start for your Friday morning as you're heading to the work, but central and north Mississippi, you're still looking all right in the morning.
Right.
Then we get to the afternoon,
Yeah.
and there we go.
Right, more storms. Also, watch out on your morning commute if you are in our southern counties on Friday morning, because lately we've just been seeing those afternoon thunderstorms, but these are going to start a little bit earlier for our southern counties. And again, this is something to be grateful about. Yes, it's rain, but it's going to bring us some relief from that heat. So a couple days, unfortunately, the relief doesn't last for long, because we're back warming back up by a long shot as we head into the next several days. But by your Friday night, we're still seeing a few lingering showers. We do quiet down overnight yet again. Saturday, that coverage of rain is going to be elevated for us, especially through the early afternoon.
Yeah, afternoon storms develop again. They'll affect us into the early evening as well. And then once we get, let's say, past 9 p.m. for sure, most of that rain should really start to wrap up. But by your Sunday, this is where we're going to start to see some changes.
Yes.
High pressure system farther out to our east, over Alabama. And with that high pressure, we dealt with it earlier this week. You can see very minimal rain popping up out there. And that's where the hot and humid afternoons come back.
Yeah, those heat indices are back, I think, especially by early next week, will be easily above 105, closer to that 110, even 115 mark. So I think those warnings are going to come back into our forecast, at least heat advisories. Again, that high pressure is going to really heat things up. So enjoy the little break with our near average temperatures, which we do get some rain from as well. Some folks picking up close to 2 to 3 inches, but on average, definitely half an inch to an inch of rainfall. Although we're not going to see widespread rain, so some folks could miss out on measurable rainfall.
It's just scattered, so hit or miss situation. But if you do get some stronger storms multiple days in a row, that's where you could definitely see those 2 to 3 inches.
Yeah.
Now, the whole reason is because of that tropical moisture. And it's a system here, it still only has a 10% chance of development through the next 2 to 7 days, and I don't really think it's going to develop into anything. I looked at some ensembles earlier, like the Euro one, and it was showing maybe tropical depression right before making landfall in the Texas coastline. So for us, really no concern whatsoever. We're just going to get that rain chance increasing.
Yeah, and I think the likelihood of what happened last week is going to happen again, and even on a lower scale. I think a lot of models are just showing this kind of fall apart, or not even organizing, a ton. So showers and storms certainly a possibility, and likelihood for our coastal areas around Louisiana coast and the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but we're not expecting a widespread flash flooding threat, and we're not expecting a hurricane to come of this. So that's why the National Hurricane Center is only giving it a low 10% chance of development over the next 2 to 7 days. So it's just going to be a rainmaker for us.
Yep, you can see when it comes to today, just a 40% chance, increasing for your Friday and Saturday, so dropping us closer to our average. But like Gracie was saying earlier, by next week, the rain chances drop, the heat returns, and that's where you could see even by Tuesday possibly getting into those upper 90s for our air temperature, and that's not including the heat index. So that's where we could see, of course, those heat advisories, possibly extreme heat warnings coming back into our area.
Yeah, it's hard to swing this in a good light. I mean, we're in that time of the year. We're dealing with extreme heat, and we got a good break, I would say, the first half of the summer. It wasn't too bad. We didn't have warnings or advisories issued every day, but this trend is not looking it's not looking like that at all.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a warm one to wrap up this month of July.
Yeah, we should be flirting with the triple digits by early next week, so remember those heat safety tips. And then some storms return by Thursday. It looks like we've got some better coverage of rain. That should help to slowly but surely cool us back down. So you'll have a great rest of your Thursday.